not everyone can afford to change careers. What if I'm at a stage in my life where just starting from scratch is not an option? Maybe you just had a baby, maybe you just got married, or there are all sorts of questions around it, which is fair, and in that case, here's your answer. Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is Sid, and today we're going to be talking about how to enjoy your 9-to-5 life. Do you know what's the secret to actually enjoying your 9-to-5? Well, it's not quitting your job. It's about having a routine. Yes, I know what you might be thinking, but just bear with me for a few minutes. I'm actually going somewhere with it. So what happens is when you build a routine around something meaningful, everything else like your exercise, your work, your creative projects naturally just fall into place. Now, instead of feeling like you have 1,000 things to do all day, you actually start doing things. But here's the twist. Now, you only start liking it when you tie it to a personal goal. And your personal goal can be anything. Like, it can be something related to your side hustle, it can be something related to your future, something you deeply care about, anything. For instance, if you're working on something that genuinely helps you build the future that you want for yourself, it suddenly becomes fun, like something that you actually look forward to, because you're not just working anymore, you're building something real, something that matters, something that moves you forward, and something that moves you toward the place that you want to reach. And here's the best part: when you have something to look forward to, you naturally start enjoying your 9-to-5 life. Because let's be honest for a second, no matter what you do, whether it's a job, a business, or freelancing, whatever it is, everything eventually starts to feel like work. Now, ask writers, authors, they love writing, they breathe writing, but the moment there's a pressure, like submitting another book to a publisher, even something that you like starts to suck a little, but they still do it. Why? Because at the end of the day, they feel accomplished after doing that, and that feeling, that exact feeling matters. But the question is, what if your job isn't making you feel accomplished? Or then, so let's say you're in a job where you don't feel accomplished, where you don't see a path that connects to your future, or maybe you can't just tie it to anything meaningful. But then it might be time to rethink your career choices, which is a great thing for maybe Gen Zs. But the point is, like, not everyone can afford to change careers. For instance, there might be someone might say, what if I'm at a stage in my life where just starting from scratch is not an option? Maybe you just had a baby, maybe you just got married, or there are all sorts of questions around it. So which is fair, and in that case, here's your answer. Find something you love and start putting tiny little effort into that thing in your spare time. And yes, by spare time, I don't mean that you'll just have spare time come up naturally. Even if sometimes you do have extra time on your hands, it just flies by. And by saying spare time, yes, what I mean is that you have to create that spare time, because in adults' life, spare time doesn't just magically appear. It's a choice. When you start finding that spare time and start doing that thing that you love, now it can either turn into a side hustle, or it can just simply be the thing that you do, that you enjoy, and your job still pays the bills, which is fine. But having something to look forward to at the end of the day, or even at the end of a week, just changes everything. For instance, if I talk about myself, I grew up wanting to write stories, but I didn't become a story writer. I don't write novels for a living. What I write is B2B content. I'm into B2B content marketing, and honestly, it can be boring sometimes, and it's research heavy, so there's a lot of work, obviously. But I've been doing it for a lot of years, and I can write as many as 2 articles per day if I want to, or do a lot of other stuff. But does it feel like work? Yes, it does. But do I absolutely feel accomplished at the end of the day? Definitely. And that's the point. So whether you love your job or you hate your job, or you just feel stuck somewhere in the middle, build a routine, connect your work to a goal, and build something small on the side that makes you feel alive. Something to look forward to, I would say, because that's how you start enjoying the life you already have while building the life you actually want for yourself. So if you found this helpful, hit that like button and subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you in my next video.